No coding required, no grueling 16-hour grinds, and you definitely don't need a fancy business degree to pull this off. Welcome to this explainer. We're looking straight at the landscape of 2026, and you know what? The absolute biggest winners of the AI boom? They aren't the engineers grinding away to build these foundational models. No, they're the people who figured out how to sit back and let the models do the heavy lifting for them. Today, we're breaking down the 5 laziest ways regular people are using AI to build income right now. And stick around, because number 3 is a strategy almost nobody is talking about yet.
Okay, let's dive into this. But right off the bat, we need a quick reality check on what we're actually talking about here. Lazy absolutely does not mean free, and it doesn't mean guaranteed. It just means low effort relative to the massive payoff. We gotta completely shatter that get-rich-quick overnight myth right now. In the AI era, what lazy actually means is that you're front-loading a small amount of setup work and then you're directing AI tools and automation to carry the actual weight of the execution. The boom literally changed the math for us. Tasks that used to take an entire team to execute, now they can be handled by one person directing a handful of tools.
Here's a quick look at our roadmap. We'll be hitting AI-assisted print-on-demand, renting idle compute, AI middleman agencies, automated AI investing, and licensing voice and style, all followed by a very necessary reality check.
Kicking things off with Section 1, AI-assisted print-on-demand. The laziest version of e-commerce literally just got lazier.
You know, people are using AI image and text generators to create designs, whip up product descriptions, and even construct entire digital products in minutes instead of days. The workflow is incredibly slick. Step 1, you just pick a niche, let's say vintage-style posters for dog lovers, right? Step 2, you have AI generate a whole batch of designs or templates tailored exactly to that specific niche. Step 3, you upload those bad boys to a print-on-demand or digital marketplace. And Step 4, you just let the platform handle all the logistics, the printing, the shipping, the payment processing, the whole shebang.
The true beauty of this model, while there isn't zero work involved, you still have to do that initial setup. Just one afternoon of effort can keep generating small sales for months on end. It's like a giant multiplier. You build the asset once and you sell it an infinite number of times. The listings effectively do the selling on autopilot once they're live on the marketplace. You build the asset and the platform does the rest.
Moving right along to Section 2, renting idle compute and data. Turns out, your unused hardware actually has real value to AI developers.
And this brilliantly illustrates how much the landscape has shifted. AI companies are absolutely desperate for computer power, storage space, and anonymized data to train and run their increasingly complex models. We're moving way past the old method, where tech giants had to build and maintain these massive, ridiculously expensive centralized server farms. Instead, the new way relies on decentralized compute networks. They basically allow everyday people to rent out their spare GPU time or storage. Honestly, think of it exactly like Airbnb, but for your computer hardware.
The setup for this is as passive as it gets. You plug in your hardware, download a background app to opt into the network, and bam, you get paid for the capacity you're already sitting on while it's just gathering digital dust. Now, let's be totally clear, this isn't going to replace a full-time salary for most people, but it is arguably the purest form of passive income on this list because you're doing absolutely no active work. You're just getting paid for the idle capacity of stuff you already own.
Now for number 3, AI middleman agencies. This is the hidden strategy almost nobody is talking about yet.
Let's define exactly what this looks like. An AI middleman runs a business model where they land a client who needs a service. Think writing, video editing, lead gen, or customer service. But instead of grinding out the actual labor themselves, they use an AI workflow to fulfill the deliverable, and they just collect the price difference. The reality of the market right now is that the client doesn't need to know, and frankly, they don't care that an AI did most of the heavy lifting. They just want a great end result delivered on time.
The pipeline is super straightforward. You land the client, the AI workflow handles the heavy lifting, you conduct a quick quality check, and you collect that profit margin. You're effectively running a smart AI pipeline with your name stamped on it. But definitely take a close look at that warning at the bottom. This entire business model completely relies on delivering genuinely good output. The human quality check is absolutely non-negotiable. If you hand over a blog post where the AI hallucinated a bunch of fake facts, you're going to lose that client instantly. In this model, you are the editor and the AI is your eager intern. Cut corners on quality, and this kind of business will collapse incredibly fast.
Shifting gears a bit for Section 4, automated AI investing, the quiet, boring, and steady wealth builder.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the direct contrast between these two strategies. Look at that top row, the active hustle. The effort level is high and constant. The emotion is stressful and totally dopamine-driven. And it requires continuous manual oversight. Exhausting, right? Now look at the bottom row, the AI robo-advisor. The effort is low and front-loaded, the emotion is boring and steady, and complex tasks are entirely automated. We're talking things like tax loss harvesting, which is really just a fancy way of saying an algorithm automatically sells losing investments to lower your tax bill. All handled for you instantly in the background. You set your risk tolerance once, automate a monthly contribution, and just let compounding do what it's always done, just with way less manual oversight. Historically, Lazy and Steady absolutely crushes active and stressed.
Of course, it's absolutely worth stating clearly and neutrally here. Investing always involves risk, and past performance does not guarantee future results. This explainer is definitely not providing personalized financial advice. We're simply presenting a highly automated option that is totally worth researching on your own to figure out your personal risk tolerance.
Finally, we hit Section 5, licensing voice, likeness, or style, getting paid passively for a skill you already built.
This one sounds incredibly futuristic because, well, it is. It begs a super fascinating question. What is your unique style actually worth to an AI model? Right now, voice actors, artists, and writers are beginning to license their distinct voices, art styles, or writing styles to AI companies and creators. Basically, they're getting paid every single time their specific style is used by the AI. No sitting down and doing the manual work each time. The AI does it, they get the check.
Now, we do need to temper expectations just a bit here. The market for this is very, very early. It's not available to everyone just yet, and the industry is honestly still figuring out what fair pricing even looks like. But the underlying concept, being compensated passively for a high-leverage skill you've already mastered, that is a massive preview of exactly where the internet is heading.
Which brings us to Section 6, the reality check, setting realistic expectations for the AI boom. So, the crucial point is how we actually wrap our heads around all of this.
Let's reiterate our core thesis here. None of these 5 methods are magic buttons, okay? Every single one of them still requires initial setup, human judgment, and a good dose of patience. The reward you get from AI isn't free money. The reward is leverage. The lazy part of all this simply means that once your system is built and fully optimized, it just keeps working in the background without you needing to clock in and grind every single day.
Which leaves us with this final vital thought. The AI tools are already out there working overtime. The only question is, whose name is on the pipeline? Are you going to be the one directing these systems to build income for yourself? Think about which of these 5 methods, whether it's the print on demand, the compute renting, the middleman agency, the robo-investing, or the style licensing, fits your strengths best. Start building your own high-leverage pipelines today. And if you want a deeper dive into any of these specific methods, let me know. Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and keep learning.